So to help us annotate, we're going to use this acronym SIFT. Okay? So S is for symbol, I is for imagery, F is for figurative language, similes, metaphors, things like that, and T is for tone and theme. So to remember this, we're going to do a chant. Okay, are you ready? S-I-F-T, we sift when we read.
S-I-F-T, we sift when we read.
Good.
S-I-F-T, we sift when we read.
One more time.
S-I-F-T, we sift when we read.
Wonderful. Thank you for your participation. I loved it. Okay, so whenever you're reading a text, you should think sift. I need to sift through this text to understand what the author is trying to tell me, because your author always has a deeper meaning in mind when they're writing something. Okay, so first, we're going to go with symbol, the first letter of our acronym. So let's go through this stanza. Would someone like to read this for us? Joanna?
A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was beautiful. Okay, so let's see if there are any symbols in this first stanza. Now, a symbol is when an object has a deeper meaning beyond its literal interpretation. So an example of a symbol would be a rose, and that a rose normally represents love. That's the kind of association you get when you think of roses, right? So it means more than just what it is. Do we think that maybe there are any symbols in the first stanza of the poem? Anyone have any ideas? Jacob?
The bird could be a symbol.
The bird, wonderful. Okay, everyone, box bird on your worksheet, please. We're going to annotate this. Wonderful. Now, bird. When you hear of a bird, what do you think? What words come to mind? Or images? Yeah, we said
Flying.
wonderful. Flying. What else? Tiffany?
Singing or chirping.
Perfect. Singing. Anything else? Any other associations? That's pretty good. Sky, maybe? Wonderful. Okay, now, let's continue to sift our poem. Now, the bird throughout this stanza is being described with imagery and figurative language. So first, let's look at the imagery. So imagery is when you get a picture in your head, right? Like when you're reading and you can see exactly what is being described for you. It's an image. Are there any examples of imagery in this first stanza? Any ideas? Lisa?
Floats downstream.
Wonderful. Floats downstream. Joanna?
Leaps on the back of the wind.
Ooh, I like that one. Leaps on the back of the wind. What else?
Dips his wing.
Dips his wing. That's a good one. Any other images?
Orange sun rays.
Orange sun rays is a really good one. Wonderful. Okay, now, I guess I'm really interested in the way in which these images are working in this stanza right now. So let's kind of look at those a little bit more closely. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind. Okay. And he floats downstream. Huh. What do we think about these images? Is there anything interesting about the way in which the author is describing the bird's actions? Joanna?
Well, it feels like everything that the bird is doing, it's not like what I would just use to describe a bird.
Right.
Like birds don't leap.
I agree with you. A bird leaps. That's a really interesting one. And floats. Let's even keep going with the verbs, right? The verb choice. Dips his wings.
Dare.
Dares to claim the sky. Does a bird dare to claim things?
No.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so then if the author is describing a bird in this way, what do we think the author is trying to, like, why would the author do that to describe a bird?
So it could be like that the bird is a symbol for like people. Like
Yeah.
people do these things, they dare to claim, they dip and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Wonderful.